I've been doing a bit of shopping today, so I went to Pier Aquatics and there's some fish in there, and like I said in the heading, these are definitely the smallest fish I've ever kept, but possibly these are must be one of the smallest fish in the world. Got myself some live food, some mysis, some brine shrimp, and this tub is going to be, I'm going to explain to you in the next video what this tub's for. This is for, I think if you watch my fish room tour, you'll know that I said there are gaps in the fish room and this is going in the gaps, and I've got something belting coming for this. But anyway, let's get this stuff in the house. Today is actually auction day, but sadly I've not been able to attend it this time just due to family commitments and other stuff. It's just been really busy. With the auction, it does take pretty much a full day. So what's been really good today is on my errands, and we've been busy driving about doing things with family, I have managed to get a visit to Pier Aquatics. Now I've been researching these fish for a while, so let's have a look at what we're going to do, where we're going to put them and what they are. I've set this quarantine system up, so it's only a small tank, so that gives you an idea of just how small these really are, because believe it or not, there are 15 fish in that bag. I'll just give you a quick look at them. Now, what I've done is I saw this on Premier Aquatics, so Steve at Premier Aquatics always does this when he gets his fish in, just to acclimatise them. My water is around about 6.5 to 6.8 out of the tap, and I know that Piers is actually quite a lot higher than that. So basically what he does is get a jug like so, and then you just take a little bit of water out of yours and pop it into there, and then basically just keep repeating that over a period of time. I also put a couple of pegs. I did see Ron and Garage Aquatics doing this the other night, so that was nice to see, but I've only ever really seen Steve doing it. I've also got this moss. Now, let me tell you what this moss is called. It's called freshwater seaweed. Kind of doesn't make sense, but that's the name of this moss. But this moss is going to be going in that tub that I showed you at the beginning. Right, so what have we got? Can anybody tell? They're actually pygmy corridores, and there's 15 of them in there. And we're going to quarantine them in this tank first, and I don't know what I'm going to do after that, because I'm either going to take the apistogramma out of there and put them in here. Reason for that choice is, if you look at the plants, they're dying off. I'm trying to get the cycle right with the plants, and I need to get more nitrates in the tank. So with 2 apistos, there's not a lot of food going in. I know these corridores are only really small, but at least there'll be 15 fish eating, and then it's going to cause more on the bioload. Well, at least that's what I tell myself anyway. Or what I can do with them is put them in that tub when I send the rest of those fish out, because I'm down to about 3 fish in that tank now. So anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue just to put water in this, and I'll bring you back when they're in this tank. I just wanted to show you a side-on view of them. It's a better view than above. These are little beauties. So I'm going to get them in the tank now and tell you how this came about. So let's empty them in. So I'm just basically, because these are the only fish in the tank, I'm just going to tip that over and let them swim out. As you can see, they're all coming into the tank. So I make sure they're all out of the bag. There's still some in the bag. And I think that's it. No, there's another one in there. Because they're that small, and I'll tell you something else as well. My eyes are not great. So, probably could have done with getting Joe helping me with this really, but no, they're all in. They're all definitely in. I've got water in the bag there, so. But yeah. Let me just check that before. Yeah, they're all in. So they're really, really small, and this quarantine tank is not the biggest tank in the world. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to close me blinds and make it a little bit darker while they settle in, and I'm going to add some stuff to this tank just for hiding and stuff like that, but I will be back. Put a cave in, I put some wood in. they've obviously got the sponge to hide under, and there's some little bit of moss and some Alodia in there, all just for cover, and I'm not sure that this is really showing them off. So I think what I'm best off doing is basically letting them quarantine in here, decide where I'm going to put them. Nice and settled. So I did decide to put them in this tank in the end, and a couple of reasons. One is obviously, which I mentioned earlier in the video, that I'm trying to get my nitrates up in the tank. So obviously, firstly, I'm not doing any water changes, and secondly, I've got 15 fish in here as opposed to 2 now, so that's be more feeding, more bio load, hopefully raise the nitrates to help the plants grow. As you can see, the plants are actually doing better than they were in the last video. Still a couple of leaves that I probably need to clip out, but we are getting a bit more growth. The wisteria is doing better. I forget the name of this plant. Is it Sessiflora? Not sure, but correct me in the comments. I always get it wrong. This is growing and they look okay, so fingers crossed, and like I said, I can put more food. Anyway, we're talking about the pygmy corridorus, aren't we? So there's 15 of them, and as you can see, they're just nice and lively. So they are a fish that they can be seen swimming mid-water. They're feeding at the moment. If you see that little clump of them, they're actually feeding. So yeah, but they've settled in really well. This is like a few days later, and yeah, I think that was the right decision to put them in here, because it's not just about getting them in the tank, it's also about getting these plants to grow, because honestly, that is a test. It's testing me. And I know, Keith, if you're watching, I've been pecking your head, so you know just how much of a test this is, but I'm not gonna let it beat me, honestly. But yeah, why have I picked probably one of the smallest fish ever? And what was funny was when I went into Pear Aquatics and I asked for pygmy corridorus, Rachel said to me, I don't know what to expect with you anymore, because they're just used to me going in getting big fish. Let me know in the comments if you have kept a fish that's smaller than these. Now, these are not going to grow, for anyone that doesn't know, these are not going to grow much bigger than what they are now. The only other thing I need to add to this tank is probably some rocks, because they like rocks, they like caves and stuff like that. So I think I'd rather have rocks in there. So I might take a trip by my local river and pick some rocks over the next couple of days. But yeah, they are a mid swimmer. As you can see, they're not like normal corridorus that usually stay at the bottom. These can be seen quite regular, swimming mid water, very lively fish, and yeah, they've settled in well. I'm absolutely buzzing with them. But like I said, let me know in the comments if you've kept a fish this small or even smaller, because these are proper small fish. What I'm going to be doing, obviously, in the near future, hopefully sooner rather than later, is I'm going to be setting that racking up. So I'm going to do a racking that's probably going to have 5 tanks on it that will have all the different fishing. So the pygmy corridorus one, pistogramma another, and then I've got a couple of other fish coming next week. I'm actually going meeting Alan, who works at Wharf, to pick some up off him, which I'm absolutely really excited about. So in typical fashion that I buy the fish before I buy the tanks, but I'll put them somewhere, don't worry guys, we'll find places for him and then we'll get them racks built. But these are the pygmy corridorus, one of the future projects, and hopefully we'll get to breed these. I'm not sure, I don't think they're a very hard fish to breed, but you know what, sometimes I've had fish that are really easy, and I've not been able to breed them. But anyway guys, I'm going to leave it there. I just want to say a massive thank you as always. Thank you for watching, liking, subscribing, even not liking, whatever you choose to do. The interaction always helps the channel. Anyway, that's me, and I'll see you all on the next one.